everyone, today I'm going to do a follow-up to my video on my spiritual path at Telunas Resort. So previously I talked about going in circles, not having a specific spiritual path and still finding my way. That said, I do work with things like prayers, mantras, crystals, and even meditation with tarot. So let me first show you my most recent goddess picture that I got, and it's from the Tabula Mundi. So sorry about the shadow. This is the only way I can get a nice shot of the card. So this card is from the Tabula Mundi, as I said, and my friend Above Light, she so kindly asked Mel Merlin to send her another one of the cards since we consolidate our orders together, and this was the card that came with it. This is Temperance art, and to those who know this card, it is depicting the beautiful goddess Artemis, and she's my favorite goddess. Although I haven't started to work with her, I'm looking forward to meditate with her. So how do I work with goddess or pictures of gods and goddesses? I try to read more about them and understand the persona that they signify. So for example, for Artemis, she's more like a female empowerment figure because she's pretty fierce and she protects ladies, women. She also, one of the stories associated with her is that she helped her mother give birth to her twin Apollo, the sun god. So in a way, she is like someone who grew up before she has even got the chance to experience childhood. And this is somewhat similar in my case, but I would like to work with her more to embody her strength. The goddess I work most exclusively with, meaning that I have her picture printed out and I pray to her more often, is the goddess Mana, and that's because I work with this crystal. This year started to work with this crystal, the Numnite, and to which she's kind of like the patron goddess. This stone is introduced to me by my tarot meetup group friends, so the founder. So he had a meditation session exclusively with this stone and gave us a picture of that beautiful goddess. So I worked with her. I prayed to her when I feel very scared, or when I see a significant time like 11:11. So like when I said pray, I look to her, I think of her through her embodiments, and I try to embody them, and I kind of say a prayer. But to me, a prayer is kind of like in an intention to move in that direction that you are praying to. So for example, I will show you my picture of her in a later video, or in this video if I manage to find out how to put two videos together, because I do not have her with me right now. So when I look at her burning the burning stuff, and I know that she's death, like kind of a goddess of death in a way. I asked her to burn away my fears and transmute them into light. So this is also how when I say this prayer, I set an intention for myself to also put away my fear to in favor of courage. So I think you have seen this crystal before, this cute little crystal. I will work with it more. I think that it has a very playful energy, so probably that is also very so it's very helpful for me as well, because I'm a very serious person. So the next thing I would like to talk about, so mantras. I recently got into mantras because the Instagram account that I follow, she dedicates a video, an IGTV video, to her patron god Ganesha, and she sang a beautiful mantra to him. I know that mantras are not prayers, but there's also a very beautiful quality to the way the tune is written and how you devote yourself to the god or goddesses in question. And although I do not kind of see myself as a devout follower of any gods and goddesses, I feel that to know devotion is to also give yourself up to the universe and let them play through you, like okay, I will show you the prayer I have too. So it's kind of like that, the famous St. Francis prayer, Lord make me an instrument of your peace, and so on. So it's kind of allowing yourself to let the universe play through you. And finally, let me see what I have missed. Okay, so why do I work so much with crystals? Let me go back to this question again. I believe that sentient life is not limited to things that move, that grows. So I believe that rocks are alive as well, and crystal being a kind of rock that has gone through the many years of formation through the earth processes, are also alive in a way, and they have so much wisdom to share. Even though they do not talk, they do not make noise, they do not grow as much as we can observe. When I hold them in my palm like this, I can feel energy radiating from them, and it doesn't mean that I can communicate with them as good as many people here on YouTube does, but I just like to feel them, and just holding them in my palms when I meditate is very peaceful, and I would like to think that they have already worked with me by me holding them. And finally, tarot. So you know that I do tarot here, so I use tarot sometimes through path working as well, meditation and reflection. So the most successful case of path walking for me is the sun, where I learned that the sun just is. It doesn't hesitate to burn anyone who got too close. It's not being restrained. So by working with tarot and by meditating and path working with tarot, I find that I gain a better understanding of the world through spiritual means. So when I feel down, I know that it's okay to hold my heart like the Three of Swords. When I feel that I need to go away, it's also good to just shut off everyone and just rest, like the Two of Swords and the Four of Swords. Yeah, so I feel very sad that tarot is very misunderstood even now. It was worse earlier on when at least 10 years ago when I first started, but it's better now, but it doesn't mean that it's every stigma that tarot has been saddled with has already been erased. So that's it for me. If you have any questions, maybe I can do a follow-up video if you want. Thank you. So these are the things that I put at my workplace. I mentioned earlier that I'm working the Nam Light. Here's my specimen given to me by my tarot meetup group founder, the founder of my tarot meetup group. And he also gave me this picture of the goddess Manat, who is the goddess for this stone. One of the goddess for this stone. She's said to be a goddess for black stones because she's the crone aspect of the daughter, mother, crone trinity. From what little I know about, I can find on the internet, she's like the Arabic goddess of death, fortune, the very ending stage. So kind of like from what I understand, from like the crone part of the fates where the thread is being cut. So this is what I see in this picture that was given to me also, where like she's throwing things down to be burned. Yeah, so every time when I'm afraid, I will look at her and imagine her taking my fears and throwing into the fire, and at the same time I would recite the prayer. This is a prayer card from the Oe Catholic Church in Amakusa. I don't know much Japanese, so but I can read a bit of kanji, and as long as they're recognizable Chinese characters. And I do know how to read the katakana and the two other system. It kind of slipped my mind. So when I went to the church, I was looking at the interior of the church, looking at the pictures around the walls depicting how the heathen Christians were being killed by the prevailing religion group over there, which is the Buddhists. Some of the things that happened, and I was drawn to this and another prayer card that was placed in the middle of the church. I thought that the way this prayer seems to be flowing, looks very pretty, and so I brought this card home. I couldn't understand what's being written, so I asked for help, and I also tried to do a false translation using my basic knowledge of Japanese. I know that there's a Saint Francis of Saint Francis, and it's some kind of prayer for peace. And what came back was the very famous prayer for peace by Saint Francis of Assisi, I guess. So I'm going to read a small excerpt of this prayer, and I'm sure that many of you will have heard this. So here goes. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. When there's hatred, let me sow love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there's doubt, faith. Where there's despair, hope. Where there's darkness, light. And where there's sadness, joy. So once I know the meaning of the prayer, I found that it actually corresponds to somewhat to the alchemical aspect of what this goddess is doing over here, which is to take darkness and throw into the fire and transmute it into something else. So these two stays together on my workplace altar, and I would often recite that prayer and also look at her when I'm feeling afraid. So this is kind of like a way of connecting to my spirituality. So update, this card is now a very permanent fixture on my workplace as well. As I said, she's Artemis, and I decided to work with her more. So I've placed this card alongside with these two beautiful things on my workplace altar. And through them, I will feel the transmutational power of nature